How's it going, guys? Shape here, and welcome to the channel. This video is going to cover another potential vendor shuffle once pre-patch arrives. Now up to this point we have covered the best items for tailoring and leatherworking using the Relics of the Past vendor shuffle. If you have missed those, here are some links to those videos so you guys can get up to speed. The main focus is using Relics of the Past on old items to increase their item level and sell it to the vendor for a higher price than the cost of the materials. This really has been an interesting topic to theorycraft over, and I have put a lot of time into researching what the best items are going to be and have stockpiled a lot more than I care to admit at this point. Now, as I said, the main professions people have been talking about are tailoring, leatherworking, and blacksmithing. However, there is a profession that most people aren't talking about, and I have stumbled upon an even better item for you guys to craft, and the profit right now is insane. Also, shout out to one of my viewers, Shapeshiftrz, for having me look into this further. Before I hop into the video, keep in mind this is all dependent on what version actually goes live in the pre-patch. We now know that the pre-patch is coming on October 13th, so you guys still have some time to stockpile a little more. If the vendor shuffle do get nerfed, then myself and a lot of others are going to be heartbroken, but what's life without a little gambling? The vendor shuffle I'm going to be talking about on this video will require you to have an enchanter. The items you can make with an enchanter are going to be the wands, which can have a relic inserted in them. Now, this is something I looked into at the beginning of my research into the Relics of the Past, but the material cost to create the wands was far too high at that time and didn't make it at all profitable, so I moved past it. There are currently 4 wands that you can craft with vanilla enchanting and 8 wands you can craft with Zandalari enchanting. Most of the Zandalari wands require expulsum and a good amount of current materials to craft, so probably not worth your time unless you have a lot of expulsum stored up as well as the materials. The main wand you're going to want to focus on is going to be the Lesser Magic Wand. The Lesser Magic Wand requires 1 simple wood and 1 Lesser Magic Essence to craft. With the Relic of the Past 5 inserted, the item currently vendors for a little over 83 gold. Simple wood can be obtained from the vendor for 31 copper each, and you can even buy a few Lesser Magic Essences from the vendor as well, so you don't have to buy them from the auction house. This is a limit on how many you can buy, so just take advantage of that while you can. On my server, the Lesser Magic Essences are going for around 10 gold each right now. That means minus the cost of the relic, your profit would be around 73 gold per item. That is over double any of the other vendor shuffles I have covered in the tailoring and leatherworking videos. You can even look into seeing what Greater Magic Essences are selling for on your server, since you can break a Greater Magic Essence into 3 Lessers. If you find some cheap green items on the auction house, you can disenchant those to even more of these essences. If this stays in its current state and turns out to be better than the tailoring vendor shuffle, you can use the cloth to make greens to disenchant to get even more essences on your own if you have stockpiled the cloth already. Whatever you decide, there is a huge profit to be made on this vendor shuffle if it does hit live in this way. There might also be some merit looking into the Lesser Mystic Wand because it sells for about a gold more than the Lesser Magic Wand. The Eternal Essences and Dust required are easier to come by, so if you can get lesser Eternal Essences and Light Illusion Dust cheaper or easier, then make the Mystic Wands. They currently are selling to the vendor for 84 gold and 32 silver. Now, while I was looking into this method, I actually stumbled upon an even more broken thing about this vendor shuffle. When I was trying to find out what items disenchanted into the greater or lesser essences, I found one that was obtained from a vendor. That vendor was a staff vendor in Kunlai Summit, and he sold the novice staff for 1 gold and 74 silver. I headed over to visit him and bought some off him to see what the disenchant rate was for the essences, and man was I shocked. I tested this on about 1,000 items, and on average I was getting 2 to 3 greater magic essences from disenchanting the staff. That means you could break those down into lesser essences and really have a complete vendor shuffle without having to use the auction house at all. That turns the 10 gold per or whatever the lesser essence is going for on your server down to just under 2 gold for the chance of up to 9 lesser magic essences. This means that you're going to be more towards the actual sales price of the wand at 83 gold because there's almost no material cost. The easiest way to get to Kunlai Summit and over to the staff vendor is to make a monk trial character, or if your enchanter happens to be a monk already, then you can use that as well. Once you have made your trial character, just hurry to your capital city, go learn enchanting from the trainer, and send over some gold to this trial character. After that, Zen pilgrimage to Kunlai Summit. Now head over to see the staff vendor Master Wang and buy as many of the novice staffs as you want to disenchant into greater magic essences. Not only can this be used for the vendor shuffle that might not even be a thing come pre-patch, but you can still use this to sell the greater magic essences on the auction house. On most of the servers I checked, there isn't a huge quantity of it anywhere, so before the word gets out, you might be able to make some quick gold from players looking to level vanilla enchanting. This could be a huge source of profit with the vendor shuffle, or just selling the items to the auction house if you don't want to mess with it. With that being said, it is completely broken, and I hope Blizzard fixes at least this part. I think the vendor shuffles are completely fine when you actually have to invest time and some gold into making an item better, but with this just being completely from vendor items, this could seriously inflate the market and make our gold not go as far in value. If Blizzard can leave the actual wand price alone and fix this novice staff step to make players either buy the materials off the auction house or require them to farm them themselves, I think that is the best course of action with this. If they just made this item not disenchantable, then this would pretty much fix the whole thing. I know there will be some players who get mad at me for revealing this and saying that if it's in the game then we should be able to use it, but printing gold takes all the fun out of gold making. Also, when things like this happen and they are later discovered by Blizzard, usually it would just be a rollback for all the experience or gold you received from something, so you would just lose out on your time anyway if it was something in the game that was unintended. In the long run, I actually might be saving you time and your misfortune. Now, since Shadowlands has been delayed and pre-patch is around 10 days away, this might indeed make it into the game live since there are so many other things they need to focus on. All signs point to the vendor shuffles as being intended from Blizzard with the relics of the past, since they have made small changes here and there and fixed the major bug that the tuxedo jacket was and left all the others alone. This novice staff might just be another tuxedo jacket case and get fixed easily, but if not, then a lot of players are going to make pretty much an endless amount of gold depending on how much money they put into it. Even if the novice staff does get fixed in some way and the price of the lesser magic wand is left alone, then this is still probably the best vendor shuffle that you can currently do. So either way, stockpile the greater and lesser magic essences and let's see where the pieces land on the 13th. Well, there you have it, guys. Most likely the best item to use for the vendor shuffles with the relics of the past come pre-patch. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed the video to show some love for the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.